Good evening, everybody. This is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Faryiryland. It's just gone 19:30 hours, 7:30 p.m. It is Wednesday night, so it's another VK4BAD bad net. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary at Faryiryland. Current outside temperature at the present time is 21.2 degrees, 91% humidity, and 2.6k of breeze. I'll now change my call sign to the club's call of the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. That's VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. This is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta, now listening for any call-ins, VK4BAD.
K4 Mike Echo Echo, good evening Gary. K4FAX.
Okay, we got VK4 Mike Echo Echo and VK4 FAX. Anyone else? VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club.
VK4IJP.
Okay, we've got VK4IJP. Good evening there, Ian. Anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club Wednesday night net? VK4BAD. Okay, there's only 4 of us at the present time. No problems on that one. Okay, well, so far we've got VK4 Mike Echo Echo Eric in Maidenswell. VK4 Foxtrot Alpha X-Ray Don in Drayton. And we've got VK4IJP Ian in Proston. Does anyone else want to join in before we start the first round? VK4BAD. Okay, we might get a couple of extras later on. I know there's a couple away. Yeah, okay. Haven't heard anything else since Saturday. I haven't heard any more except that Neil VK4NF is still in hospital. As I said, I haven't heard anything since the weekend. Anyway, other than that, we have got a bit of club news, but that's coming up at the halfway mark. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's BADNet. VK4BAD listening for anyone else want to call in? Okay. Sounds like it's only us guys for the time being. Is the cricket on at the moment? Is the cricket on? Not sure. Anyway, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta. We have got VK4MEE, VK4FAX, and then VK4IJP. Over to you there, Eric. VK4 Mike Echo Echo, VK4BAD.
Yeah, Roger, VK4, Mike Echo Echo returning there. And good evening, Don and Ian. Good to see you, Gary. And nothing much to report here. We've only had a look at the gauge ever since it's been raining the last couple of days, and we've got 10 mil. That's nothing. I've got a load of water, filled the tank up, but anyway, it's not running over yet, so hasn't been much, just a few drizzling around the ridges there. Although I did notice this afternoon the grass is getting a little bit of a green tinge about it. But that's a slight green tinge, I might add. Still pretty dry here. But, yeah, got my power supply fixed, so I'm back on the air, and Roger and that Ian, I think you might be right about switch mode power supplies with a noise on 40 metres. I was listening to it this afternoon there, and I went, oh my God, that bad. It was up round to 9, and yeah. Anyway, I'm going to have to look into that. I had a bit of a think about it all, and my mate's got a few batteries down there and grabbed one out of the dozer, and they're pretty bloody big, but I grabbed one out of the dozer and bring it up and set it outside and run a couple of wires. Actually the lead wires from the ICOM are really long. They'll reach there through the window. Yeah, I just thought of that. About 10 foot long. Pretty heavy duty they are too. Anyway, nothing much else to report there. Going to watch a bit of a movie there a bit later. And I got to get up early in the morning. I got a meeting with some people in Nanango in the health department there. I got to go and see there early, and I'll have to get mobile in the morning. You can bet every time I've got an appointment or something that I sleep in. So I'll leave the curtains open tonight. So as when it's daylight, I'll wake up. Otherwise, if it's overcast, I won't wake up till 7:30, and then it'll be a big panic. And that's about all this way there. VK4 FAX, VK4 Mike Echo Echo. Yours, Don, thank you.
VK4 Mike Echo Echo, VK4 FAX. Good evening, Eric. Good evening, Gary and Ian. Doing a great job there, Gary. The moisture dried up here too. It's only just a little bit of drizzle. We did get 47 mil all up. There was a bit of a scud last night. I didn't measure it today. And there's just been a bit of a, drizzly sort of stuff this afternoon or just late this evening as on dark. But you wouldn't get wet in it. It's just enough to dampen the concrete path, etc. I'm sort of procrastinating about taking a drive up to Rockhampton tomorrow. I've got a uncle's funeral on Friday, and I sort of haven't made my mind up as yet. But I just wonder, it's going to be such a rush. It's 11 o'clock funeral on Friday, so it means that I'd have to drive up tomorrow, stay overnight, and then probably stay overnight Friday and come back Saturday. So I'll make a decision later on. My brother lives in Brisbane. He hasn't made up his mind whether he's going, and the other option, I suppose, is I'll see what flights out of Brisbane, I suppose. Might be able to just drive to Brisbane, fly up and fly back in one day or something. Anyway, that's by the by. We'll see what happens. I'll hand it on to you there, Ian. VK4JP, VK4FAX.
VK4FAX in the BAD group. This is VK4JP. We've had a bit of rain. It's been sort of light drizzling for the last day or two, but our tanks have been full for over a week now, so in all we've done all right.
But we've had quite a continuous good rain for a couple of hours today, so now the ground is really saturated. The water is actually now sitting on top of the ground and not soaking in. After this downpour, wasn't a downpour, it was quite a heavy rain for a little while. Probably wasn't all that heavy, but the water sat on top of the ground for some time. Whereabouts up to now, it is basically just soaking in, so that's got to be good. Green grass, my goodness, the grass is growing, it's spreading as I was watching it. There's not much sunshine either. So in looking at that today, I'm thinking probably next week, the way how it's going, I'm probably going to have to mow it. And I looked at the mower today, one of the back wheels have gone flat. So that means I'm going to have to bring the car up behind it and put some air in the tyre. Hopefully the bead hasn't broken. And assess what's happening there. Maybe I picked up a screw or nail or something in the rear tyre when I used it 6 or 7 months ago. So that's about it. But other than that, we've had good rain and tanks are well and truly full. I've always, I don't know whether you heard me say, Eric, last time, but it's all thanks to you. You paid to get some water and then it shortly rained afterwards. So it's all many thanks to you. Many thanks to you, Eric. Without you paying to get some water, we'd be still in drought. You know, if you had plenty of water, we'd be in drought. So, and the grass would be dead. We'd have to be wearing our shoes so the stones don't poke into our soft, tender feet. We've got to thank you, Eric. Don't buy any more water for a little while. I think we're getting to the point there. The grass has had a good water, and I don't know. Is it too late for them to get a crop in for summer, or what? I don't know. But But anyway, we'll put it back to Gary, our fearless net leader, controller, and he can tell us all the wonderful news that he has. VK4BAD and the group. This is VK4IJP.
VK4IJP, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Before I do the halftime interval, does anyone else want to call in? VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta listening?
VK4 Echo Mike.
Okay, we've got VK4 Echo Mike. Before I hand it over to Merv, is there anyone else want to call in, say hello before we, or call in before we throw it over to Merv? VK4BAD? Okay, nothing else heard at the moment. VK4 Echo Mike, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Have a say there, Merv, VK4BAD.
Yeah, okay, Roger. Roger, fellas. VK4BAD in the group, VK4 Echo Mike. And great to hear you all on there tonight. And, yeah, I've still got a bit in the voice. I've had hay fever for about the last 2 months. And most of it's gone, but it's still a bit rough in the voice box. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. You know who I am. We'll strive on. The rain here, a little bit over 30 mil. Today was only a few spots. Well, there was a couple of very, very light showers, but it wouldn't have been anything at all, wouldn't have even registered. Heard that bit about when you came on there, Gary, saying that Neil was in hospital. So I hope, I hope whatever's wrong with him, he improves quickly and he's back home again. And Don, thanks for the email this afternoon. And I don't know what sort of rig you're using. If you're using an old type rig, you're going to need an interface. If you're using the new type rig, of course, you won't need the interface. And 6 metres is just about done and dusted, but, you know, you can use FT8, FT6, FT8 and FT4 on all the other bands anyway. I'm on FT8, either watching or using on 12 metres and 10 metres, on and off on these wet days. So, anyway, I sent that email on that I sent to you. I sent that on to Cam, and he'll be able to help you with that more than what I can. I can't even help you set up the program because mine is a very early version. And you'll have a lot more tricks on the new version than I got on the old version. Okay. I can't think of anything else at the moment, but anyway, back to you, Gary. VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta and the group VK4 Echo Mike.
VK4 Echo Mike, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Before the half-time overs, anyone else want to join the net? VK4BAD listening? Okay, no one as yet. Okay, to bring yourself up to date there, Merv. The last information I got is that they're deciding. Well, for one, Neil had a massive stroke last Wednesday night. Tuesday night or Wednesday night. Anyway, he had no, it would have to be Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, because, yeah, and he's in a induced coma, the last I heard. He was down to PA. Wife and kids were down there at the time. So that's as much as I know at the moment. Okay. For the ones who weren't at the club meeting, the extra repeater what is going up down at Mungar. Has got the green light to go ahead, so that should be up and operational by the end of December. The latest will be the end of January. It will be linked. It is a 2 meter repeater. It will be linked to the VK4 RET 2 meters, so it will be linked with a standby. VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. It will be linked via RF through a 70 centimeter link. between the two repeater sites. And what repeater was it in Toowoomba? I know it was a 70 centimetre repeater. Will also be RF linked from VK4RET 2 metre to the 70 in I think it's Toowoomba. It's in that area. I can't record a call sign off memory at the moment. But it's a 70 centimetres in Toowoomba area. And if I remember rightly, it might be actually connected to Ipswich. Not quite sure. Anyway, that's all got to go ahead on the weekend at the meeting. C4FM will be is up and operational on 70 centimetres on the 438.700. It's been in the test mode for the last week, and at the moment it's on a test antenna. It is still accessing the 70 centimetre repeater, but there is a little bit of white noise. Standby. There is a little bit of white noise on the the signal that is due to it is on the test antenna at the moment. The node number for the C4FM is 38133. That's 38133. The room number which it sits in is 48133. 48133. That is the room number. Node number will get you onto get you in. The room number will bring you straight to the room. So it doesn't matter which one you do. It just takes you to two different sites, and one gets the node number is overall, but the room number takes you directly to the room. Okay, that one out of the way. Echo Link. Unfortunately, Echo Link is going to be about another 2 more weeks before I can get it up and running. I'm trying to get there a bit earlier, but things are a little bit on the hectic side. Hi. And what else is there? Yes, stand by. VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta returning. Okay, last one before we do the last round. Majority of us who deal with Strictly Ham would have got an email explaining what's going to be happening in the next 6 months. I was talking to Ross there today where I was ordering some more new bits and pieces for projects yet to come. We're having a bit of a good old yatta over the phone, and he reckons around about the middle of the year next year before he shuts the shop. So Strictly Ham has got about 6 months left, depending on how much surplus he's got left over. and other couple of bits and pieces. So unfortunately, we're going to lose another amateur radio repair shop and sales of goods. So the only one virtually is Andrews Communications in Sydney. I'm not aware of. I don't think South Australia. I think South Australia shut down a couple of years ago. So I think it was only Melbourne and Sydney which had anyone. Kyle's Communications, they shut down in the early to mid first decade of this century. Yeah. Anyway, with that lot there, I've been talking too much at the moment. So, is there anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's BADnet before we start the last round there? VK4BAD listening. Okay, nothing else heard at the present time. Okay, we'll do the last round. VK4, Mike Echo Echo, VK4, Bravo Alpha Delta. Over to you there, Eric.
Roger, VK4BAD, VK4 Mike Echo Echo. Thanks for all that info, Gary. And yeah, I'm ringing Ross tomorrow about ordering that SCU 58 cable there for me. New Windows 11 PC. I've downloaded everything there already. Just got to get the cable to hook it up with. It's all ready to go now. The driver's installed and everything on the PC and everything. The right ports and that are open, as you know what I'm talking about. You've got to go in and make sure the driver's open in the right COM port. And I've done all of that. It's all ready to go. I've just got to wait on cable there, but I'll ring Ross tomorrow when I get back from the doctors and one thing and another, and this meeting I've got to have in town. And then I'll be up and running on that there, and when I get a bit of time, I'll slip into 70 and 438 Demo 700 and have a bit of a listen there, punch the note in, and see what happens there, mate. Talk to a couple of people in America regularly on 2 metres there, so on WiseX, so I'll just see what happens there when I get time. But that's about all for me there. Go and wash my dishes and that. I will be listening, but I'll make it my finals there and look after yourselves. And I'll get these dishes done and everything before the movie and everything starts. So I won't make any further comment. And thanks very much, Gary, for the info and everything else you've done for us. And the 70 centimetre repeater there, 438 Demo 700. Thanks a lot, Gary. I greatly appreciate it. Over to you, Don, there. It's good to hear you, Don. I'm sorry to hear about the funeral, mate. And best of luck on that one there. And it's good to hear from you, Don. And Merv, nice to hear from you, Merv. We've had no rain here, Merv. Only the last couple of days we got 10 mil. I measured it this afternoon there, and we had 10 mil in the gauge. That's all we've had. We've had no rain until the last couple of days. So that's about it. And thanks very much, Ian, there. My pleasure. You can reimburse me anytime you like there, Ian. Hi. Okay, over to you, Don. VK4FAX, VK4 Mike Echo. Let's go.
VK4MEE, VK4FAX. Go do them dishes, Sadie. Yeah, and enjoy the movie. Yeah, thanks, Merv, for your reply there. Yeah, I'll look at that email later. Just had a bit of a quick search there for airfares. Yeah, return trip's going to lighten the wallet by about $480. So yeah, but I just don't know whether I can safely drive it by myself. It'll be cheaper to drive, of course, but anyway, I'll go sleep on that one. Yeah, I haven't got a lot else to report. I'll go research a few more avenues and maybe ring my brother in Brisbane and see what's happening down his way. Okay, I think that frequency, the Ipswich frequency might be 439.775 there, Gary, so that's probably the one you're going to link to, which will get you back into Ipswich, no problem at all. So it really booms in here while it's down at on the what's the name at Preston. So it works really well. You hear the Ipswich boys have their net every morning at 8 o'clock. So okay, I'll say good night all, and thanks Gary for running the show, and hand it on to Ian, VK4AJP, VK4FAX.
Yeah, thanks, Don. And Eric, I reckon you'd have a better chance of getting some assistance for the water from the pub. That might not be money. But I'm sure that there'd be a dozen farmers up there who'd be loving the water. Yeah. Yes. Okay, Don. Yeah, and Gary, thanks a lot. For the little update on Neil as well. So we're all thinking of him. It was sort of quite sudden, I'm sure. Yeah, but anyway, no, nothing much more. I'm sort of looking forward to some of these repeater upgrades and that, and opening up the scope a little bit more, and hopefully maybe catching some of the travellers that are on the road. So I suppose when this has happened, Gary, the websites that have repeater locations on them might need to be updated, and that'd be probably a little job for Jake, and get that information out there, so we can maybe catch some of these travellers around the place, because I know when I've spoken to their, a lot of them just go high up the country. There's not a lot of activity, so or there's no repeaters, so they don't put a lot of effort. But it was quite interesting when I was away anyway, speaking to some of the locals and a couple of other travellers that were looking around and all very surprised to hear some traffic. I think they all did the same for me. No called sort of listening and no replies. So, but hopefully with the broader area, the net will be broader and might catch them all and generate a bit more interest for the area, for them to be able to speak to the locals. Anyway, over to Merv, and for him to be the second last one there as such. VK4EM, VK4AJP.
Yeah, good on you, Ian. VK4IJP with the group. VK4 Echo Mike returning for the final. Unfortunately, I don't have any luck here with UHF. To the east of me, I've got Mount Wangapini just over the road here, which supposedly is the highest mountain in the southeastern corner of Queensland. And right beside it, now that Mount Wangapini is in line with me for Toowoomba. And then a little bit further to the south beside Mount Wangapini, there's another one there. I don't know what its name is, but it's about 3/4 of the height of Mount Wangapini. So, I can't get UHF over it or through it or around it, which means I can't get to the Darling Downs UHF club repeater or this new link system that you've got going over there with Ipswich. And the other UHF repeater, which is on 438.025, which is on the northern side of Toowoomba. And I can get to it, but it's not very good, unfortunately, here. Anyway, just how it is. Just how it is. I hear all these other fellas around the area saying, I can get 17 repeaters or 12 repeaters. And I sit back here and say, I can't. And, Gary, if you're talking with Neil's family, please pass on our regards from all of us here in Toowoomba that know Neil and have dealt with him over the years. So please pass on our regards, not just from me, but from, the whole Toowoomba district, if you wouldn't mind. All right, I'm going to say good evening and clear out of here. And, okay, Don, with all that other stuff and wondering, I think it'd probably be safer if you fly. And because, driving on your own, you never know what could happen. You could get into car trouble or you just don't know these days. Yeah, you're talking about that. I was telling the fellas the other day, someone pinched one of my hoses, garden hoses, only about 3 metres long. I had it on one of the taps on the laneway side here. I've got a nut tree, Queensland nut tree there, and I don't know what the other nut tree is. And I've been using it to water, and I went to water them just before this rain came, and of course no hose. So there must be someone hiding behind every tree, I think, these days. It's terrible, isn't it? You can't leave anything out. Okay. Thanks, Gary. VK4BAD with the group. VK4 Mike just listening. Cheers.
VK4 Echo Mike, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Before we close the net off, I've got work to do. Before, lie down. Go on. Before we close the net off, is there anyone else wanting to call in? If you see a snout on, would you mind? Does anyone else want to call in before we close the net off? VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta with Cyrus trying to give me a hard time. VK4BAD, listening for anyone to call in, say hello, goodbye before we close the net. VK4BAD. Okay, nothing else heard. Ian, for your information there, yes, stop hitting the camera. Jake is, besides Vice President, he's also the publicity officer. Like myself, being the President, I'm also the repeater coordinator. So we all got a few hats in there at the present time. With that lot there, would you do something out of the way? I'll now change my call sign to VK4 correction. I'd like to thank everybody. Let's get this out of the way. Come on, you move. You're sorry about that. Cyrus has given us a hard time. With that lot there, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta. I'd like to thank VK4 Mike Echo Echo, Eric in Maine as well. VK4 Foxtrot Alpha X-Ray Don in in Drayton, VK4IJP Ian in Proston, VK4 Echo Mike Merv in Pittswood. Anyway, with that lot there, I'll now like to thank all yous for coming in, and I'll now change my call sign back to my home call of VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo Gary in Faryiryland. And I'll now leave the frequency open for general traffic. Sorry about that, fellas. This is Victor Kilo 4 Golf Romeo Bravo. Until the same time next week, I'll say 7-3 and catch us all later on. VK4BAD GRB out.